It's FM20. I'm the Custard Prophet, and welcome to the Beta Save. As you can see from the title sequence, the thumbnail, and this page, we are at Everton for this FM20 Beta Save. I had announced it on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you will know that. If you don't, why don't you go and follow me on Twitter? If you're new to the channel, why not leave a little thing down below? No, that sounds wrong. Why don't you, comment down below. Tell me have you got FM20 and who you support, and see if we can get more than 2 comments, and hit the like button as well. Don't normally say that right at the start, but hell, this is FM20. I can do whatever I like. So after about 4,000 false starts, we are trying again to get this right. I have installed the face pack, which was my FM19 face pack that I just moved over to FM20. It seems to work. I have installed the logo pack after much fighting, and I've had a bunch of sound issues, but all of that seems to be sorted, and we are here at Everton. I did want to go from the start of the sort of getting into the club, but we can go through the various bits and pieces as we go. So why Everton? Why Everton? Well, Everton are an enigma to me, and they have been for a long, long time. For the last 20 years, Everton have had pretty much no success whatsoever. Yet, they have had some of the best players to grace English football come through them. Wayne Rooney, top English striker. Romelu Lukaku, it's arguable, but I think he's an amazingly good player. He certainly was when he was at Everton. Fellaini, amazing player at Everton. Sigurdsson, it's the list goes on. The list goes on, and yet even with these players, and often with more than 1 or 2 of them in a team, and a lot of very good players around them, they still flatter to deceive. They don't do well, and I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're an Everton fan, what is it? Why do Everton just consistently do badly? Or just at best averagely? It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, I am hopefully going to come and sort that out. I'm not. If you've seen any of my previous stuff, you'll know that's not going to happen, but we're going to give it a go all the same. So let us get into FM20. So what I wanted to do in this first episode was just to have a kind of little look around the game, see what's new, see what's still here. As I've already recorded this once before, and it sounded like I had my head in a tank, I kind of have looked around and seen actually in many places things have not obviously changed. I mean, it's purple, obviously that's a clear difference. A lot of things, I mean, the actual overall look of the thing hasn't really changed an awful lot. There's a few tweaks here and there which make it look, a little bit different. I mean, even on this page, it is all kind of moved around a little bit, and it just, every time an FM comes out, it's just a little bit better. But let's just look at the defining features of this game, and I think the one big defining feature for me, and there's probably 2 major ones, other people might have more than this, but the Club Vision tab. So we all know when we go into the board, this has replaced the boardroom, but a lot of these things that you find here are very hard to determine. The sort of structure of what the chairman was thinking about in the future, what he actually wanted from you, was completely unclear until he said, you've got 7 games to get 5 points, otherwise you're out. So this gives you an absolutely clear idea of what is going on. I mean, we will see how it kind of works. So as you can see, you've got a culture up here, and you see it's a sort of level of importance that the board place on that, and then how they feel you're doing. So club culture, play entertaining football, it's a desired one, and they're going to reserve judgment because we haven't played any football yet. Fair enough. And then you've got these kind of quite nice in the future sort of plans. So the 5-year plan here, within 5 years they want to build a new stadium. That's pretty cool, but that's going to tell you that if you do have money, they're probably not going to give you that much because they're going to want it for the stadium. And this next one probably fits in with that as well. So they want you to work within the wage budget. So you really need to be clever about the wage budget. I don't know what the wage budget is. We'll have a look at that in a little bit. So, but then they also have a more sort of detailed breakdown of that. So yeah, at the end of next season they want us to challenge for silverware, and that's required. If you see here, you've got some that are desired and then some that are favoured. So it decreases how important it is to get there. So we have to finish a top half finish. We have to finish in the top half, otherwise we'll get sacked. Looks like if we don't work within the wage budget, we'll get sacked. And we need to challenge for silverware in 2 years, otherwise we'll get sacked. So it does make it a lot harder to stay in a job. But it does make it a lot easier to see what you need to do. So I think this is a really, really nice thing. Yeah, so performance. I didn't actually look at this last time. Okay, so this is sort of a breakdown of how we're doing on many different fronts. Highlights and criticisms. There was something like this previously, wasn't there? So the other big change, of course, is the report. But no, it's the development centre. And this is a game changer, I think, for all you guys who do enjoy playing Football Manager and bringing through the youth. This allows you to be a little bit more kind of clear about what's going on with the youth, and also what's going on when the players are about to come through. So you get an overview of what your squads are looking like. So you've got the players out on loan. You've got an overview of what's going on in there, whether your under 23 squad is strong, whether your under 18 squad's strong, and then you've got a list of first team candidates, people who could potentially come in and who they could potentially replace, which I think is really good. So you know who to work your training around. Then you got your ones to watch here. So it's all pretty good, that, and then you can sort of drill down into this huge amount of information that you get here. So if you want to click on Callum Connolly here, you see he's on loan at Lincoln. You get the appearances, you get a loan report, you get idea of his form. Really nice. And then here in this under 23s, you get information on how they're doing, ability, potential, and also an idea of what your staff think they're going to do. And you get the same for under 23s, and then the youth candidates. So this is your youth players, but as I understand it, you get your youth players before, you get information on your youth players before you actually can see them or do anything with them, sort of who might be coming. So that's quite good. And then staff. Oh yeah, you got your staff here. Oh, it's the under 23 staff, is it? Okay, right, fair enough. So that I think that's an absolute game changer. Really, really very excited about that. So the club vision has replaced the boardroom, but then the majority of the rest of the tabs look very, very similar. They haven't made massive changes elsewhere. We know there's been a few changes to Director of Football, and a fair few tweaks throughout, and I'm sure they'll become clear as we go. But I mean, the overall look has kind of changed, but why change something radically when it works so beautifully? I thought FM19 was a quite fantastic game, and FM20, they have built on a fantastic game and have added two really fantastic features, because you don't want to overhaul it. I know a lot of people want the match engine changed and all this and all that, but I don't want that. I want Football Manager, and Football Manager is essentially a bunch of data, and then you get to watch a bit of football, but it doesn't really matter if it looks very much like football. It's just kind of trying to win, and it's the most addictive, unbelievable game I've ever played. I've played it since since the first ones came out, and for a long period this is the only game I played. Didn't play anything else for 10 years, at least 10 years. More recently I'm doing a load of other gaming, but Football Manager has remained a constant, and I think it always will do. I didn't mean to say any of that stuff, and Miles didn't pay me. But yeah, Football Manager is bloody superb. Yeah, but the majority of the rest of it looks very, very similar. So the squad sheet looks pretty much identical. I mean, you would think that's FM19 looking at that. You've still got the dynamics and all the same bits and pieces in here. Nothing seems to have changed here. A code of conduct, I'm not sure about. I can't remember seeing that. Let me know in the comments if that was there before. So we've got tactics. I'm not sure if there was any additional tactics that were put in. I don't think so. But I'm not an aficionado of everything. It doesn't look like we've got any... inside inverted winger. Wide target man was there. Was there an inverted winger last time? I can't remember. I think maybe they were called something else. They had something like that. We did, didn't we? Because I remember trying to play it and failing miserably with it. So, yeah, you get your team reports. Again, that looks very, very similar. You have your squad depth chart, which is quite nice. And look at the depth. I mean, this is quite interesting. Looking at Everton, this does work quite well for them. You've got a really strong set of players. This tactic actually, I just randomly sort of selected. I mean, we'll have a little play with it some more, but actually, you've got no one under 3 stars, really. Really quite good. I know you're not supposed to go on the stars, but I do quite like going on the stars. Right, staff. My understanding was that staff had changed somewhat. I can't remember exactly what. I think there was a bunch more responsibilities in here, and I'll do that off camera. I felt there was something else. Has anything changed in the job centre? No, that looks pretty much the same. Medical centre, I'm going to use it this year. I promise I'll use it this year. I will use it this year. I was terrible last year. I don't even think I clicked on it last year. Training, I've been watching Aussie Villains streams. Really good. If you haven't seen them, go and watch them. But he puts me to shame with the level of detail he goes into between each match. He sort of fiddles with the training. He does all this sort of thing. I'm lucky if I remember to change the set pieces. Yeah, I wonder how that is. This. Oh, yeah, there was some funniness, wasn't it? We'll find out. All in good time. So you got your schedule. All looks very, very similar. Competitions, very, very similar. Scouting and transfers looked pretty much identical as well. But we'll play around with that. So it looks like the big guys, the big changes are Club Vision and the development centre. I think both of which are going to be very big for us next year. So what my plan is for this series, and we're going to start properly on Monday. We will start with the away game against Sheffield United. I know you Leighton Baines fans want to see the Udinese, the testimonial against Udinese, but that's not going to happen. We're coming in straight in with the big boys, or for the big boys. Sheffield United, wow. Away from home, we'll probably just play that one game, and we'll look through the squad, look through the tactic. I'm going to try and build a sort of sensible tactic around this squad, fill in the gaps as needed. I don't think we need to do too much, but then shouldn't I do something because it never seems to work for Everton? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm probably not going to do anything until over the weekend some point, so I will be reading anything that does pop up. Okay guys, well thank you very, very much for coming along. Make sure, if this is your first trip to the land of Custard Prophet, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more action with Everton. With some action with Everton, where we're actually going to see some gameplay. Please, please like the video, and I'll see you next time, hopefully, for a little bit more. Thank you very much, and goodbye.